Welcome, thrill seekers and ghost hunters. Today we're diving into the eerie and chilling stories behind 15 of the most haunted bridges in the world. From tragic deaths to restless spirits, these bridges are more than just pathways. They're portals to the supernatural. 1. Old Alton Bridge, Goatmans Bridge, Denton, Texas, USA. Deep in the shadows of Denton, Texas, there lies a bridge that few dare to cross after dark. The Old Alton Bridge, better known as Goatmans Bridge. Built in the 1930s, this iron truss bridge was once a peaceful crossing, but its history took a dark and sinister turn. Locals whisper of a goat-like creature that haunts the area, a spirit born of a terrible legend. The story goes that a black goat farmer known as Oscar Washburn was brutally lynched by a hateful mob who hung him from the bridge for his success. When they returned to dispose of his body, it had vanished, and from that day forward, strange sightings began. Travelers report glowing red eyes peering from the woods, unearthly screams echoing through the night, and a shadowy figure lurking on the bridge. Some say, if you knock 3 times on the trusses, you'll summon the Goatman himself, inviting his wrath. Now abandoned, Goatman's Bridge stands as a chilling reminder of its dark past. Paranormal investigators and thrill seekers alike are drawn to its cursed ground, but many leave with more than just stories. For those brave enough to visit, remember, the Goatman is always watching, and he does not forgive trespassers. 2nd Clifton Suspension Bridge, Bristol, England. High above the Avon Gorge, shrouded in mist and sorrow, stands the Clifton Suspension Bridge, a stunning yet haunting marvel of Victorian engineering. Opened in 1864, the bridge has become more than just a crossing. It's a place where spirits linger and tragedy whispers on the wind. Over the decades, countless souls have leapt from its towering heights, leaving behind echoes of despair. Locals tell of ghostly apparitions wandering the bridge at night, figures that vanish into thin air when approached. The most chilling tale speaks of a woman in white, seen staring silently into the abyss before stepping off, only to disappear before she hits the ground. Some drivers claim to see shadowy figures in their headlights, only for them to fade into nothingness. Paranormal investigators report a heavy presence here, a sadness that clings to the air. As the gorge below swallows the light, the bridge transforms into something more than steel and stone, a monument to lost souls. They say if you linger too long, you'll feel it too, that pull of the unknown, as though the bridge itself calls you to join the forgotten. 3rd, Overtown Bridge, Dumbarton, Scotland. In the quiet town of Dumbarton, Scotland, there lies a bridge cloaked in an unsettling mystery. Overtown Bridge. Built in the 19th century, its elegant stone arches seem innocent, but this bridge holds a dark reputation. It's known as the Dog Suicide Bridge. For decades, dogs have inexplicably leapt to their deaths from the same spot on the bridge, with over 50 fatalities and hundreds of near misses. Those who survive appear dazed as if under a spell, and some even return to jump again. Theories range from strange scents to supernatural forces, but locals believe there's something far more sinister at play. They speak of the White Lady of Overtown, the ghost of a grieving woman who wanders the bridge, her presence so strong it unsettles animals and humans alike. Visitors report an eerie silence in the air, a sudden sense of dread, and whispers that seem to come from nowhere. Some even claim to see a shadowy figure moving through the mist. Whether it's a curse, a spirit, or an unexplainable force, one thing is certain. Overtown Bridge is a place where the veil between life and death feels perilously thin. 4th, Stow Lake Bridge, Golden Gate Park, San Francisco, USA. In the heart of Golden Gate Park, amidst the beauty and calm of nature, lies Stow Lake Bridge, a picturesque spot with a dark and ghostly legend. By day, it's a serene retreat for visitors, but by night, it transforms into one of San Francisco's most haunted locations. The tale dates back to the early 1900s, when a young mother came to the lake with her infant child. Distracted for just a moment, she turned to find the baby's pram had rolled into the water. Desperate, she plunged into the lake to save her child, but neither of them ever resurfaced. To this day, visitors claim to see the woman's ghost wandering the bridge and its surrounding paths, her pale face twisted with grief. Some hear her chilling cries calling, "Have you seen my baby?" Others report their cars stalling or feeling icy hands on their shoulders when they stand too close to the water. They say if you visit Stow Lake Bridge and answer her call, she may appear behind you, her sorrowful eyes staring into yours, forever searching for her lost child. Will you be the one to meet her gaze? 5th, Bridge of the Damned, Puente del Inca, Mendoza, Argentina. High in the Andes Mountains, hidden among the desolate peaks, lies the Puente del Inca, or the Bridge of the Damned. This natural stone bridge, formed by ancient volcanic activity, is surrounded by whispers of curses and spirits that refuse to leave. Legend has it that long ago, an Incan prince suffered from a deadly illness, and desperate to save him, his people sought the healing waters beneath the bridge. But the journey was treacherous, and as they approached, the warriors accompanying the prince made a horrifying sacrifice. To ensure his safe crossing, they linked arms and turned to stone, forming the very bridge that still stands today. Visitors report feeling an unnatural chill in the air, even in the scorching sun. Some hear faint cries or see shadowy figures moving across the bridge at dusk. Locals warn travelers not to linger too long. Some claim the spirits of the fallen warriors watch, and if you disrespect the bridge, you may never leave the mountains. Puente del Inca is not just a marvel of nature. It's a place where history, tragedy, and the supernatural collide, leaving a mark on all who dare to walk across. 6. Emily's Bridge, Goldbrook Covered Bridge, Stow, Vermont, USA. Hidden in the quiet woods of Stow, Vermont, lies Goldbrook Covered Bridge, better known as Emily's Bridge, a place steeped in heartbreak and haunted by an anguished spirit. Built in 1844, this unassuming wooden structure carries a dark tale that has terrified locals and visitors for generations. The story tells of a young woman named Emily, who was abandoned here by her lover on their wedding day. Overcome with despair, she took her own life, hanging herself from the rafters of the bridge. From that day forward, her restless spirit has lingered, her rage and sorrow etched into the air. Those who dare visit Emily's Bridge at night report hearing ghostly screams, footsteps on the planks, and the sound of nails scratching against their car doors. Some claim to feel an invisible force shaking their vehicles or icy hands brushing their skin. Shadows dart across the bridge and the air grows heavy with an overwhelming sense of grief and anger. Locals say Emily targets those who remind her of her betrayal, so if you visit, tread carefully. The bridge may look serene by day, but by night Emily's wrath is impossible to escape. 7. Langkawi Skybridge, Langkawi, Malaysia. Suspended high above the jungle of Langkawi, Malaysia, the Langkawi Skybridge seems like a paradise for tourists, offering stunning views of the island. But for those brave enough to stay long enough, there's something unnerving about the bridge that draws the curious and the terrified alike. Built in 2005, this soaring steel structure stretches across a deep ravine, offering a breathtaking view of the lush rainforest below. Yet there's a chilling secret hidden within the mist that often surrounds the bridge. Locals speak of an ancient curse tied to the land, a curse that draws restless spirits to the area. It's said that if you venture out onto the bridge after dark, you might hear whispers carried by the wind, voices of the lost souls who have vanished in the jungle. Some claim to see figures moving through the fog, their faces hidden, and their footsteps echoing on the metal surface. Tourists have been known to feel a sudden, overwhelming sense of dread or even dizziness, as if something invisible is watching them from the shadows. For all its beauty. Langkawi Skybridge. is a place where the living and the dead seem to intertwine, a place where the past refuses to stay buried. 8. Akashi Bridge, Kobe, Japan. Spanning the cold waters of the Akashi Strait in Japan, the Akashi Bridge stands as the longest suspension bridge in the world, an engineering marvel that stretches nearly 2.5 kilometers. Yet, beneath its towering steel cables and architectural brilliance, there lies an unsettling history, one of tragedy and restless spirits. The bridge's construction, completed in 1999, came at a heavy cost. During its building, a devastating earthquake struck, claiming hundreds of lives and causing irreparable damage. Many believe the souls of those lost in the disaster now haunt the bridge, trapped between the earth and the sea. Locals speak of strange phenomena, bizarre fogs that roll in from the strait, shadowy figures that appear on the bridge at night, and unsettling cold spots that can freeze you to the bone. Some claim to hear whispers carried by the wind, voices lost to time but forever tied to the bridge's tragic past. Though the bridge is a symbol of resilience, for those who visit at night, it's also a reminder that not all who pass cross peacefully. The Akashi Bridge remains a silent witness to the restless spirits that linger. 9. Bunnyman Bridge, Colchester Overpass, Fairfax County, Virginia, USA. In the quiet woods of Fairfax County, Virginia, there's a bridge that hides a dark and terrifying secret. Bunnyman Bridge. This seemingly innocent structure, located just off the Colchester Overpass, has earned its sinister name from a chilling urban legend that still haunts locals to this day. The tale begins with a man, known only as the Bunnyman, who allegedly escaped from a nearby insane asylum in the 1970s. Dressed in a grotesque bunny costume, he roamed the area, terrorizing unsuspecting passers-by. One night, he was said to have attacked a couple, slashing them with an axe before disappearing into the woods, leaving behind only bloody evidence. But that was just the beginning. Over the years, more bizarre reports have surfaced. Strange figures seen in the shadows, mutilated animals found near the bridge, and an eerie feeling that settles over the area at night. Some say if you drive by after dark, you can still hear the soft crunch of footsteps in the leaves, or the eerie echo of laughter carried by the wind. Bunnyman Bridge is not just a place, it's a warning. If you linger too long, you may find that the Bunnyman hasn't gone anywhere at all, and he's waiting for his next victim. 10. Brooklyn Bridge, New York City, USA. The Brooklyn Bridge, one of New York City's most iconic landmarks, is more than just a crossing. It's a place steeped in haunting history. Opened in 1883, the bridge stands tall over the East River, its towering cables and stone arches a testament to human ingenuity. Yet beneath its beauty lies a dark secret. During its construction, tragedy struck. Dozens of workers perished in accidents, their lives claimed by the unyielding forces of steel and stone. But some say their spirits never left, lingering on the bridge, forever tied to the site of their untimely deaths. Visitors late at night report an eerie feeling, an overwhelming sense of coldness as though unseen eyes are watching. Others speak of hearing faint whispers in the wind, or the soft, disembodied sound of footsteps behind them, even when no one is around. Some have seen shadowy figures on the bridge only to blink and find them gone. Their Brooklyn Bridge may seem peaceful by day, but by night, it becomes a threshold between the living and the dead. And if you dare to walk its length after dark, you may find yourself surrounded by the lost souls who will never cross to the other side. 11. The Haunted Bridge of Avon, Avon, Indiana, USA. In the small, quiet town of Avon, Indiana, there lies a bridge that has become a chilling legend, the Haunted Bridge of Avon. This simple structure, crossing a forgotten creek, is infamous for its eerie reputation and the dark secrets it harbors. The story dates back to the early 1900s, when a tragic accident occurred on the bridge. A young couple, driving across one fateful night, lost control of their car and plunged into the creek below. Neither survived. Since then, locals have reported hearing the sound of a car's tires screeching, followed by the distinct, heartbreaking cries of a woman. Others speak of seeing the ghostly figure of a man standing at the bridge's edge, staring into the dark waters below. But the most chilling sightings come from those who dare to walk the bridge after sunset. They say the air grows unnaturally cold, and an overwhelming sadness fills the space. Some claim to hear whispers in their ears, as if the spirits of the couple are trying to communicate with them, warning them to leave before it's too late. The Fokker-haunted Bridge of Avon is not just a relic of the past, it's a place where the living may encounter the dead, and where some say the souls of the lost couple still seek their final rest. 12th, Ashima Ohashi Bridge, Matsu, Japan. Rising above the Sea of Japan, Ashima Ohashi Bridge is an engineering marvel, yet it holds a dark, unnerving presence that has earned it a sinister reputation. Known as the roller coaster bridge for its steep incline, it seems like a thrilling ride for any traveler. But for those brave enough to drive across at night, there's something far more disturbing lurking in the shadows. The bridge itself, often shrouded in mist, seems to twist and warp in the darkness, its towering arches vanishing into the fog as if disappearing into another realm. Those who dare to venture across claim to experience an overwhelming feeling of dread, as if the bridge itself is alive, pulling them into an abyss. Some visitors report hearing ghostly whispers in the wind, or seeing dark figures standing at the edge, watching as cars drive past. Others claim their vehicles stall when they reach the highest point, and strange, unexplainable lights flicker in the distance. Ashima Ohashi is a bridge of extremes. One moment, it appears majestic, and the next, it's a towering, eerie presence that seems to bend reality itself. For those who dare to cross after dark, they may find that the bridge doesn't just take you across the sea. It takes you into something much darker and far more dangerous. 13. Hell's Bridge, Algoma Township, Michigan, USA. Deep in the forests of Algoma Township, Michigan, there lies a bridge that locals fear and avoid at all costs. Hell's Bridge. This eerie, dilapidated structure crosses the tranquil streams of a dark, shadow-filled ravine, but beneath its rusted surface is a history soaked in violence and tragedy. The legend of Hell's Bridge dates back to the 1800s, when a brutal murder was committed in the area. A man, consumed by jealousy and rage, murdered his wife and child, throwing their bodies into the water beneath the bridge. Since that time, disturbing accounts have emerged of strange occurrences around the bridge. Visitors report seeing flickering lights in the woods, footsteps echoing from the bridge's creaking wooden planks, and a strange, suffocating chill in the air. Some claim to hear whispers of the murderer's last words, while others say they've glimpsed shadowy figures standing motionless on the bridge, their hollow eyes staring into the darkness. Hell's Bridge is a place where the veil between the living and the dead is perilously thin. It is a place where the tormented souls of the murdered still cry out, and where those who wander too long might find themselves drawn into the dark past, never to return. 14th, Ponte dei Sospiri, Bridge of Sighs, Venice, Italy. In the heart of Venice, Italy, stands the haunting Ponte dei Sospiri, or the Bridge of Sighs, a structure that hides a tragic and eerie history beneath its beautiful facade. Built in the 17th century, this stone bridge connects the Doge's palace to the prison, and it is said to be the final site of freedom for many prisoners who crossed it on their way to execution. The legend goes that as the prisoners were led across the bridge, they would take their last look at the beautiful city, sighing in despair as they faced their grim fate. It is from these heart-wrenching sighs that the bridge earned its name. But what many don't know is that these anguished spirits are said to still linger, trapped between life and death. Today, visitors claim to feel a sudden drop in temperature as they cross the bridge, and some even report hearing faint sighs or whispers carried by the wind. The most chilling accounts speak of ghostly apparitions, shadowy figures who walk along the bridge at night, forever doomed to repeat their final journey. Their Bridge of Sighs is not just a bridge, it is a gateway between the living and the dead, where the echoes of the past still resonate, and the cries of the lost souls can never be forgotten. 15. Witch's Bridge, Pont du Diable, Serré, France. In the shadow of the Pyrenees, just outside the village of Serré, France, lies the Car, Pont du Diable, the Car Witch's Bridge. This ancient stone structure, built over the Tech River, has earned its sinister name due to the dark legends that haunt its history. Centuries ago, the bridge was the site of witch trials. It is said that women accused of witchcraft were brought here to face execution. The cries of the condemned echoed through the valley as they were either hanged or cast into the river below. But some say these women didn't die. They vanished into the night, their spirits bound to the bridge. Locals speak of strange occurrences, an unnatural fog that envelops the bridge at dusk, chilling cold spots that freeze you to the bone, and eerie whispers that seem to come from the very stones. Those who cross the bridge at night often report a heavy presence as if unseen eyes are watching. Some claim to see shadowy figures moving across the bridge, the faint outline of women in tattered clothing, forever trapped in the final moments of their life. The Witch's Bridge is not just a relic of the past. It is a place where the spirits of the lost and the damned still linger, their cries carried on the wind, seeking justice that may never come. That concludes our journey through these haunted bridges. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, these places carry stories that will send a chill down your spine. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more spine-tingling tales from the world of the supernatural. Until next time, keep your lights on. You never know who or what might be watching.